Hello friends and welcome to this yin practice to reset your body and mind. This practice can be done any time of the day, any day of the week, and it really should just sort you out to just completely reset all of the body and the mind. You will need props for this session, so I always advise to have plenty of props. So if you've got a block or two, great, but also add in some pillows, cushions. Bed pillows are great, cushions off your sofa are great, and even a rolled up blanket or towel can be helpful as well if you haven't got any of those things. But like I say, have a combination of things to add in as and when you need. It's always best to have more props than not enough. That's what I think anyway. So yes, welcome and let's get started. So if you want to come and sit towards the back of your mat, come to just a cross-legged position for a moment, or just a comfortable seated position for you where you're nice and flat to the floor. And then just take a nice deep inhale, just lengthen up through your spine. As you exhale, just lowering the shoulders, and then we're going to drop this left ear to left shoulder. So getting a nice little stretch on the right side. You might want to close your eyes for a moment and just breathe into that right side of the neck where you're feeling that stretch. Maybe take some slightly deeper breaths here, just allowing a little bit of a tension release as you exhale. And then after a couple of breaths, just take your left hand, just place it on that right side of your head, just above your ear, just to create a little more weight on the side of the head. Just getting a little deeper into that stretch, but you're not pulling the head, just resting that hand. Continue to breathe into the neck. Maybe you're feeling the pull into the top of the shoulder as well. So the neck is a place where we hold tension and stress, also the shoulders. I am definitely someone that holds my stress in my neck and shoulders more so than anywhere else in the body. Just gently release that hand now from your head, gently bring the head back to center, and then we're going to drop right ear to right shoulder. Take in some nice deep breaths as we breathe into that left side of the neck. And then taking that right hand, placing it on the side of the head, so just above your left ear. Feel that stretch get slightly more intense. And then just gently release the hand from the head, gently bring the head back to center. And then we're going to take it into our first yin posture, which is going to be our melting heart pose or puppy pose, whatever you prefer to call it. So coming into a tabletop position first, you might want a prop here, so maybe a block or a cushion. This can really help to support either your head or your chest, depending on where you feel you need it. Or you can just walk the hands out in front and then just starting to lower that chest down towards the floor. And then you can bring your chin or your forehead down to the mat or to your prop if you are using one. The forearms are nice and relaxed down on the ground. Try to lower the shoulders as best you can. Just allowing gravity to pull the belly down towards the floor. Feel the chest expand here. Tailbone is just kind of naturally pointing up towards the sky. And if you feel like you've gone a little too far, you can just kind of walk the arms in a little bit. Breath wants to be at a nice natural pace here. So in yin, we try our best to follow the breath once we settle into the pose, just allowing us to calm our minds, focusing on the breath as it moves in and out of the body. You can visualize your breath as a color, or you might want to count the breath as it comes in and out. Sometimes that can help with your focus. Let's take a nice deep inhale now. Use the strength in your arms and your shoulders just to walk you back into tabletop, and then just come back to sit on your heels. We're going to take it into a child's pose, but you can pick here what child's pose you want to do. So maybe take a wide-legged child's pose or have the legs in. Maybe send the arms up overhead, or maybe take the arms down by your side so your hands are in line with your feet. If you're going for that wide-legged child's pose, you might want to take a block and pop it underneath your sitting bones. So this just takes some pressure off the ankles and the feet, just gives you that extra little bit of comfort. Maybe you want to use a prop as well to support your head as well. That again is just that extra little bit of comfort which you might want for this reset. I'm going to go for a little wide-legged child's pose. I'm not going too wide with my legs today. Taking the arms up overhead, relaxing the forearms, allowing my forehead to just come down to the floor, relaxing the shoulders. So this is a nice little counter for your melting heart pose, just kind of rounding gently through the spine again, stretching out through that low back. Again, once you settle into the pose, try to bring your awareness back to your breath. We're just trying to keep it at natural pace. So just try your best not to change anything about your breath. Just observe it. Inhale nice and deeply now as you use your arms to just lift you up. Let's move any props out of the way and then bring yourself forward into tabletop position. And we're going to take it into dragon pose, and this is going to just help open up the hips nice and gently today. So we'll start with the left leg. When you're ready, you're going to step this left foot forward in between your hands. You'll probably keep that back knee in the same position, but you might want to cushion this knee. So if the knee is a little sensitive, pop a little cushion under there or blanket, whatever you've got to hand. And then you're going to inhale, use your hands on top of your thigh to just lift you into an upright position. Hands are going to stay on top of the thigh, or you can bring your hands to your hips, kind of whatever feels like keeps you most secure. And then all you're going to do is just take an inhale, and then as you exhale, just sink into the hips. Make sure the knee stays directly above your ankle. If it tends to move over, just inch that foot forward just a little bit. And then using your hands on top of your thigh, if you've got them there, that is, you're just gently pushing into the top of the thigh. This is just going to help lift through the torso, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, and then just lower those shoulders. And then closing your eyes here might make you feel a little unsteady, a little wobbly. So maybe just take a soft gaze out ahead here. And then just breathe into the hips. Only push them down as far as feels comfortable for you. So if you feel like you've gone a little too deep, it's starting to feel a little uncomfortable, just lift out of the hips just a little, dial it back. And then if you can, again, bringing that awareness back to your breath. Maybe visualize the breath circulating around the hips. Where you do feel it the most, is it in that right hip flexor? We're getting a little stretch out of the psoas muscle as well. And remember that each exhale that you take or that you release can just allow you to release a little bit of tension or stress. We're not going to be here too much longer. Just trying to keep the torso nice and upright. Lovely. Let's take a nice deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, just release your hands down to frame your front foot, and then really slowly and gently slide left leg back so you come back into that tabletop position. If you want to take a couple of hip circles here, you can do so. And then when you're ready, you're going to be stepping that right foot forward in between your hands. Again, maybe you cushion that back knee if the knee is a little sensitive. And then using the hands to help lift you up, pushing them into the top of the thigh. We lift and lengthen through the chest, through the spine, lowering the shoulders, and then sinking into the hips on an exhale. Remember, only send the hips as far as feels comfortable. We're thinking about our edge here. So feeling that resistance, but being able to sit with it for the next few minutes. When you're ready, take a nice deep inhale. Exhale slowly, bring the hands down to frame that front foot, and then sliding that right leg back into your tabletop position. You might want to grab a prop, bring it towards the front of the mat, and then we're going to walk the knees back one little step, and then just start to lower your hips down towards the floor. We're coming into our Sphinx posture. Bring the forearms forward along the mat, making sure the elbow stays in line with your shoulder. And then you may want to use your prop here. Maybe if you've got a little bit of a sensitive back, that low back is sensitive, you can push your block or a pillow underneath the belly. This is just going to relieve that pressure. Or you can do both actually if you've got two blocks. Or you can use your block, pop it on this highest setting and then just lower your forehead down, and then that's going to relieve pressure from your neck. So it's entirely up to you what options you go for. Maybe you don't go for anything. And we're gently pushing the elbows, the forearms into the floor. This is just going to help elevate the chest, lower the shoulders. Maybe you close your eyes or you take a soft gaze out ahead. But try your best to relax your legs and your glutes. And then breathe into your spine, that low lumbar region of your back. Try to keep the underside of your chin parallel with the floor. And bring that awareness back to your breath. And remember, it's okay for your mind to wander when we're trying to follow the breath. The most important thing is that you recognize that the mind has wandered, and then you just kind of let that go, bring it back to breath. Try not to give yourself a hard time for this. And try not to compare your practices. So if the last time you practiced yin, you were really calm and quiet in the mind, but today it's just not working for you, and that's okay. That's just where you are today. So we try not to judge or compare. We just accept it for what it is. Take a nice deep inhale here. Maybe you want to remove your props if you're using any. And then on exhale, just lower yourself all the way down, cross the arms overhead. And then let's turn the head over to look over to the right side. So you come onto that left ear, just rest it down on your hands. And then a little counter here. We're going to frog leg that right leg out to the side, knees in line with your hip or lower. So try not to take it higher. And then ankle is in line with your knee. That foot just points out to the side. Just allowing that left side of your body to get nice and heavy. to fully relax, and then just feel that release that you get in that right hip, that low part of your back on that right side. There's always a nice little counter. We don't stay here very long, for about a minute, and then we'll switch to the other side. I always find this little counter really relaxing and always think to myself, I'm going to try and sleep like this tonight. And then I just can't, it's just not as comfortable in bed for some reason. It's nicer on a hard floor. It's way more relaxed like this. Maybe some of you even sleep like this. When you're ready, just slide that right leg back along the floor. We're going to turn the gaze over to the left this time, coming onto that right ear. And then frog leg in, left leg out to the side. We start to allow that right side of the body to get nice and heavy. And then just feeling that left hip release. The muscles in the low back on that left side, feel them release as well. Just allowing your whole body to relax here. When you're ready, just slide that left leg back behind you. And then slide the hands so they come underneath the shoulders, tuck your toes, and then just gently lift yourself up to your tabletop. Just then come to sit back on your heels and then bring your legs out in front, just taking your time. So we are going to come down onto our back, but we're going to take one prop here. So one block or one pillow. If you've got a flattish pillow, you might want to just fold it over once. What we're going to do is this is going to go across the mid back, kind of across the back where the shoulder blades are, because we're going to make a little bench for the chest. We're going to be opening up the chest. So lower yourself down onto your props. You want to feel this opening in the top of your chest. And then your head can just hang back down to the floor. Now, if your neck is sensitive here, obviously this isn't going to be for you. So then grab another block or pillow and then just pop your head on top of that. All we're looking for here is that opening in the chest. And then in terms of the legs, we're just going to straighten out the legs, allow them to relax, allow the feet to fall away from each other. We're going to take the arms out into a T shape. And then feel the chest gently open here. So just feeling that stretch through the torso. When you bring your awareness back to your breath, maybe you can focus in on the rise and fall in your chest. The chest is much broader now, giving us more space to expand the lungs, expand the ribs, allowing more oxygen into the muscles. Just bring your arms in by your sides, and then to come out of this pose, you're going to push into the elbows and the forearms. Inhale deeply to lift yourself up. If this isn't a way to get you out that feels comfortable with you, no problem. Just roll onto your side. Let's move the prop out of the way, and then just roll yourself back onto your back, and then we're going to bend the knees, bring the feet flat to the floor, and then we're going to cross this right leg over the left, so like you would cross your legs in a chair, starting with this right leg first. Just lift the hips up off the floor here, and then just take them over to that right side of the mat, and then just allow the knees to fall gently over to the left side. And then here you might want to use a prop, a block or a cushion, to just rest underneath that bottom knee. Try to shuffle the chest open a little more, and then we're going to take those arms back out into that T shape again. We're going to keep the gaze so it's up towards the ceiling or the sky. You might want to close your eyes here and just breathe into your twist. What I love about this twist is the fact that it's nice and passive, but also with the legs crossed, we're getting a nice little stretch over the front of the hip. So again, it could be relieving some tension for you. Try to soften your face here. Make sure you're not clenching your jaw, not clenching your belly. Not clenching anywhere else in the body, so you're not kind of screwing up through the toes or even the fingers. Inhale nice and deeply now as you draw the knees back to center. Uncross the legs and send the legs out along the floor and try to get your body in alignment again on the mat. And then still thinking about this right side, getting a stretch in this right side, we're going to go into banana pose. So we're going to walk the feet over to the left bottom corner of the mat, shuffle the shoulders over to the left top corner of the mat. We are going to take the arms up overhead. Take your right hand to grab hold of your left wrist. And then just give that, left hand to grab hold of your right wrist, apologies. And then just give that right arm a little stretch out. And then just relax the arms down. Feel that stretch start to travel down your body. Cross that right ankle over your left. And then you're in this lovely little banana shape. Now, if you're not really feeling anything from this little pose, then go a little deeper. To do that, you shuffle a little more over to the left through your chest, through your shoulders. So the legs won't bend anymore, but the torso will. So that's where you want to move to if you want to take it a little deeper. And then you can also push that right hip down towards the floor. And that's going to give you a slightly more intense stretch around the top of your right side pelvis. Close your eyes here. And really enjoy this big side body yawn. Let's bring the arms back down by our sides and cross the legs. And then just start to make our way back to the center of the mat. Bend the knees, bring the feet flat to the floor. And then we're going to cross that left leg over the right. We're going to lift the hips. We're going to take them over to the left. And then we're going to lower the knees down over to the right. And then you might want to support that bottom knee here. Open up the chest. And then taking the arms out into that T shape. Allow the legs to get nice and heavy here. Do a little check that we're not clenching or gripping anywhere in the body. Breathe into the twist. Notice where you feel the most sensation. Where are you holding tension? Guide that breath to the area and allow that exhale to release some of that tension. Really try to let go. Inhale nice and deeply now. Draw your knees back to center and cross the legs. Just realign yourself and then send the legs out along the floor. So we're getting that stretch now on the left side of the body. So we're going to walk the feet over to that right bottom corner of the mat. Shuffle the shoulders, right top corner. This time, arms go up overhead and right hand is actually going to grab hold of your left wrist this time. And gently pull, gently stretch, and then just relax. Feel that stretch start to go down through the torso to the hip, and then you can just relax. Cross the left ankle over the right. And then if you want to intensify that stretch around the hip, push that left hip down towards the floor. Try to relax all of the body here. Enjoy this left side stretch, this lovely lateral stretch, which I always say is like a really nice big side body yawn. It's such a great pose to do when you wake up in the morning as well, particularly if you're a side sleeper. I think I say this quite a lot, but it is definitely true. And I am a side sleeper. I sleep on my left pretty much all night. And this is just the best pose in the morning. And what's even better is you can do it while you're still laying in bed. And who doesn't love a yoga pose that they can still do it in bed? Let's bring the arms back down by our sides and cross the legs. Make our way back to the center of the mat. And then once you arrive here, just bend at the knees. And then you're going to bring the soles of the feet together and then allow the knees to fall apart. So you can maybe take blocks here to support the knees if you wish. You might want to grab a pillow here, maybe pop the pillow underneath your head or maybe even underneath the sacrum. So just giving you the extra little bit of comfort underneath your back. You don't have to use props though if you don't want to. This is a nice relaxing posture without props. Just gently allow gravity to pull the knees apart. And then we're going to take the arms up overhead, but we're going to grab hold of opposite elbows. So that's just going to give you a nice little stretch through your torso. Just relax the shoulders down though. Gently push the shoulder blades into the floor. You might want to take a few deep breaths in this pose. Just start to allow that relaxation to enter your body. This is our last pose before we go into Shavasana. So some deep breaths here would be really nice. Again, we're getting another gentle hip opener from the front of the hips, getting into the groin and that inner thigh. Just bring your arms down by your sides now, and then use your hands to gently draw your knees back in, and then slip the legs out one by one, coming into our final resting pose, so into our Shavasana. You might want to cushion your head here, maybe support the knees, or maybe even the feet and ankles. Or maybe you even want to grab a blanket. So it's entirely up to you how you enjoy your Shavasana. But what we're going to do is we're going to take it into a body scan first, and then you can just enjoy your Shavasana for the next few minutes. So once you arrive in Shavasana, take up space with the arms and legs. Take some nice deep inhales. Nice long exhales out through the mouth, just seeing if you can release any little last bits of tension or stress from your body. Allowing yourself to fully reset, pressing that full reset button on body and mind. So if you can release anything else, then this is the time to try to do it. And then we're just going to go through a little body scan. So each area of the body that I mention, just try to let it go, let it relax as best you can. So starting with the toes, relax the toes, the feet, the ankles, the calf muscles and the shins. Soften your knees, relax your thighs, relax your glutes and your hips. Soften the belly, soften the ribs and your chest. Relaxing your fingers, your hands, your forearms, relaxing the upper arms and the shoulders, Allow your spine to get heavy. Relax your neck and your head. Soften the face and all the little facial muscles that you have in your forehead, in your brow, in your temples, all the little muscles around your eyes, the muscles in your cheeks. Soften the jaw. And finally, allow your tongue to just rest on the roof of your mouth. And then just try to bring your awareness back to your breath again. Maybe focusing on the rise and fall of your chest or your belly, if that helps. And then just allow these next few minutes to really quiet the mind down if you can. Fully focus on the breath. Just find that stillness and that space to fully reset your mind. The body is reset. Now just trying to give the mind a little bit of a nudge as well. You can stay in your Shavasana for as long as you need to, but if you would like to end the practice with me now, just bring a little bit of movement back to your body. Maybe rotate the wrists and the ankles, wiggle fingers and toes. If you want to bring a little bit more vigor back to the body, you can send the arms up for a nice full body stretch. Maybe take a couple of deep breaths here as well. Making your way onto your side body. And then bringing yourself up into a comfortable seated position. And once you arrive in your seat, just taking a moment just to notice how you feel in the body, how your mind feels now. Hopefully you've had the reset that you need today. And then let's take our final breath together. So nice deep inhale into the belly and a big sigh out through the mouth. Thank you so much for joining me today in this yin practice, and please give me a little like and a subscribe if you want to enjoy more content like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well, what you thought of the practice in the comments below, and I hope to see you in the next session. Namaste. Bye.